got these pumpkin blondie brownie bites from Trader Joe's. They're very good. They're kind of more like cake. I don't really go too much for the pumpkin spice stuff. Well, for treats I do, but not coffee. I don't think I've ever had a pumpkin spice latte in my life. I know I'm living in 2010 with my fishtail braid here, but what the heck? I've been listening to Salem's Lot, and I think I'm almost 100 pages into Love Forms. I really like Love Forms so far. I like the kind of like conversational way that it's being told. I have to change. I'm boiling in this sweater. I feel like with my braid, it's very Victorian. I'm tempted to wear the red sweater now, but I'm gonna be good and not because I just have to cook dinner. David wants breakfast for dinner tonight, so I'm making French toast. I think I'm about halfway through Salem's Lot, listening to it. I might try to switch and read it. I think I have it on my Kindle. I feel like I tried to read it a few years ago, but it didn't really work out. And then I'm at about maybe just under 100 pages in Love Forms. We have a big task ahead of me, which is finishing Love Forms, finishing Salem's Lot, so I can do my wrap up and not only have a couple of books to talk about.
Throw that piece out. This still tastes good? Okay. Awesome. Yeah, go for it.
Willies. W-I-L. Not now.
I have not been to Barnes & Noble in literal years. Also, I'm obsessed with these. They're these Canada Dry Fruit Splash cherry ginger ale drinks with 0 sugar. I'm sure they're terrible for you. We needed to do something fun and to get David out of the house. He's been cooped up and he's not the kind of person that can stay cooped up. And I just thought it might be a good outing for him. So I had a couple of gift cards to Barnes & Noble that I've had for a couple of years now. Normally I go to, there's a independent bookshop in town called Rediscovered Books, or I will buy online from bookshop.org. I have my Libro FM credits, which is tied to one of the other book places in town that just opened up. It's called Old Speak Book Bar. It's like a beer and coffee and tea kind of place, but you can also buy books. They just have a very curated selection. So if you're going looking for something in particular, you're probably not going to find it, but it's a really, really cool space and I think it's a very fun addition. David declared it a hipster place and it did not help that every single car in the parking lot was a Subaru. If I'm not giving my money to Amazon, I feel like I'm doing at least a partially good job. So the first one I got was Butter. This is by Asako Yuzuki, translated by Polly Barton. When the cashier rung me up, she said that this book, she really liked it and it made her want to eat butter. I don't know what that means, but I got the sense that she liked it. Then I picked up The Lying Life of Adults by Elena Ferrante. I read the Neapolitan, I think the quartet that she wrote, that everybody, it feels like, read and loved collectively, and I did as well. So I haven't read anything else by Elena Ferrante. I should also mention that I use my library a lot. In fact, I just put on hold The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. So that should come sometime next week. Then I grabbed Under the Eye of the Big Bird. This is by Hiromi Kawakami, translated by Asa Yonida. I'm not sure. It's a Japanese book. This sounds completely up my alley, so I'm excited to read this. And finally, when people talk about Hanya Yanagihara, they think of A Little Life, and I did read that a few years ago. I enjoyed it. It's not a favorite of mine, and I, am sensitive to the debate, although I think that's died down a little bit. But Anna Wallace Johnson, who is a very popular booktuber, talks about the people and the trees a lot, and I have wanted to read this book based on her description, and for some reason I don't see this one as much. I believe she wrote this before she wrote A Little Life, and I don't have any interest in not the follow-up, but the book she wrote after A Little Life, but this one I am intrigued by. So yeah, another one that I have wanted for a long time that I just didn't feel like ordering for some reason. Okay, that's my little book haul.
This Bold Heart program keepsake will help you remember to boldly share what's in your heart.
I'm getting ready to leave, but I wanted to go through the books that I've read this month, October, and what I'm almost finished with. I read The Loneliness of Sonia and Sunny by Kiran Desai. That was the last one on the Booker shortlist that I had to finish. Then I read We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. This was my first Shirley Jackson. I really, really liked it. So now I want to read The Haunting of Hill House. Then I finished White is for Witching by Helen Oyeyemi. I will make sure I know how to pronounce that when I do my wrap up. For me, it was unsettling in an unpleasant way. There is a form of an eating disorder in here, and I just can be real sensitive about that kind of stuff. So that kept this book at a distance for me. Then I read Lolly Willows. I have no emotions about this book one way or the other. Maybe a good thing that I didn't get to go to the book club meeting, but when I caught the recordings, I feel like a lot of people felt the same way that I did about it, which is, oh, we think it's one thing, just kidding, it's another thing. And sometimes I like that. In this case, I wasn't really sure. I will say the writing was really beautiful, and I underlined a lot because I enjoyed the writing so much. I am currently reading Love Forms by Claire Adam. I am enjoying it so far. I like the way that it's written, but something seems to be missing. I'm curious how it's going to end. And then I'm listening to Salem's Lot by Stephen King. This probably wasn't a good one to listen to on audio, not just because audiobooks aren't really working for me, but because I don't love vampire stuff. I do not hate vampire stuff. I'm just not immediately drawn to it. I was reading for the month a lot, and I think I just need to read for my mood. All of my books, of course, I'll talk about in my actual wrap up. I'll be moving into my office space the first week of November, so my wrap up might be a little bit late. Okay, stuff to do as usual. Bye. I am about halfway through Love Forms, and then I have been listening to Salem's Lot. I did download it onto my Kindle. I'm going to try to read it a little bit, I think, because I'm about halfway through that one as well. So I have a lot of reading to get done by tomorrow. My therapist asked me, because I told her, I was like, I got to finish these books by Friday. She said, well, who do you have to finish them for? And I said, I mean, literally nobody cares. Okay. I also have to take David to his surgery appointment today, and I think I am finished working. So I'm just going to read until we have to leave in about an hour and a half. So I should be able to get some good reading in. Okay. Bye for now.
Are you hungry?
I finished Love Forms last night. Today's Halloween, and I am almost finished with Salem's Lot. I keep buying the book thinking that I'll do a hybrid thing, and then I don't end up doing that. Or actually, no, I got it from my library this time. But I download it to my Kindle, and then I don't end up actually reading any portion of it. I just make my way through it. I liked Love Forms, but I'm not sure I can really objectively review it. It ended on a very sad note, and it didn't make me feel good, but that's because of where I am personally right now. So I don't know if this is going to come out before or after my October reading wrap up. I suspect that in my wrap up, I'm going to say some version of the same thing. Like, I enjoyed the story, but it's hard for me to really analyze it because it's just a little too fraught for me. And that was what I anticipated going into it. Okay, I have a bunch of errands to run. We're doing like a Canadian tuxedo thing here. That's silliness. I'm doing like a, yeah, denim on denim thing. Have my scarf. And yeah, office, drop off other keys, mail for a client. Then I want to go to a furniture store and see if there's any other furniture that's not super expensive. That might be good.
To remember what it was I was remembering. That book, little lights everywhere.
Can somebody explain the social media obsession with talking about your fragrances right now? Maybe this has been going on for a long time and I am just old. I'm watching Melissa, the post office girl, her newest vlog. And I feel like she's one of the originators of this whole perfume thing. I just don't understand it. Perfumes are so much money. It's like a lot of money to spend. And they last a really long time, so I don't know if I quite understand having a ton or like having one to go to bed. I'm genuinely curious. And maybe it's part of just like romanticizing your life. I can get on board with this. I am not, I know I sound judgmental, and normally I am being judgmental, but in this case, I'm actually curious. What is this? Hi, it's nighttime, obviously. I have been using different microphones throughout this whole video, I'm sure. So if it's very obnoxious, please let me know. I just couldn't deal with the little ones because I'm going to be folding my laundry. So let's see, it's November 1st, and I did not finish Salem's Lot. That was just not in the cards for me, and I can get very anal about these kinds of things, so I'm trying to give myself a break. With Salem's Lot, I feel like the way that I have read it is just, again, not real conducive for me. My mind is wandering a lot when I listen to audiobooks, and this audiobook is good. I just feel like I didn't get as much from it as I would have wanted to, even though, as I mentioned, I'm not the biggest vampire story person. But in order to hopefully salvage the book for me, I switched to reading it on my Kindle, and I have, I think, like an hour and a half left. I always read my Kindle by how much time is left in the chapter or in the book. If anybody else does that, let me know. So today's the 1st, and I do have a TBR in mind, but the books that I will definitely be reading are the ones that I will prioritize for Jessie Letheby's book club. So the first one is part of a slow read, which I started today, and it is Gormenghast, the Gormenghast trilogy. This is a fantasy trilogy, and we are starting with the first book in the trilogy. This copy has all of the books in it. It is Titus Groan. I had never heard of this book. I had never even heard of this author, I think. And so, you know, it's one of the reasons I really like her book clubs and just following Jessie, Sunbeam's Jess in general, and why I talk about her so much is because I feel like she has introduced me to books and authors that I probably wouldn't either know about or gravitate toward. And she's very persuasive. And then we are reading Wuthering Heights as well, so I probably will start that sometime this week. I really want to read Either Or by Elif Batuman. That's the follow-up to The Idiot, which I read earlier this year and really, really liked that one. I feel like it just sort of matches my mood right now, and that is a goal for me in November. Like, read by your mood. I think I have 3 left from the Booker long list, and the winner is going to be announced on November 10th, but I've read the whole short list and I have my rankings out. I did that video a couple weeks ago. We're approaching the holidays now officially, and it'll be my first year without my mom for the holidays, and the anniversary of her anniversary makes it sound celebratory. It'll be a year in December since she passed, so I just want to kind of slow down, which is why I've been and probably will continue to do these kind of vlogs where I'm still putting stuff out, I'm still talking about reading. I will never not talk about reading, but it's just a little bit less pressure. Earlier this year, like right after my mom passed, and I was just, I don't know, I feel like I was in a fugue state or something. I could not put a video together, and I tried. But if you watch those videos, I feel like I seem sad, and I was sad, and it just didn't, it made the experience not enjoyable. So when we took our trip to Budapest and Prague and did all these things, I took a little bit of time away, and that helped me kind of recenter, reorient myself, and I think I can bridge the gap here by continuing to put out videos, continuing to talk about my reading, but minus the pressure of being like, I have to read 8 books, or I have to read all the books I said I was going to read, etc. I'm going to finish my laundry, and then I am going to wash my face and get into bed and read some more, hopefully, if I can concentrate. Otherwise, we're just going to be done for the night, I think, and just watch some calming YouTube to chill out. And thanks for spending time with me. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for being here.